All right, roll them.
Roll them now, right? So they're really top 5 best video types or real estate video types that we're going to talk about now. And this is actually, I found this is an article that was on the web, just really describing the types of videos or the type of information that the consumer is looking for when they're looking for real estate. Of course, the minimum, is a property video, and this is like your virtual tour, that, if you will. You can use property photos to create a branded slideshow, and we've talked about this already, with a listing voiceover, whether it's your voice or you're using a stock voice. Of course, there's many programs that are out there. You have the benefit of having the Design Center, which Frank mentioned for RE/MAX agents that you can use. Also, there's Sharper Image, Circle Pix, Rockbait, whatever. Everyone uses a bunch. That typically will include the pricing, which I recommend that you put at the end, okay? Don't put it in the description at the bottom if that's what you're going to do. And a link to the listing or website video. And if you're going to put a link, which you should, to HAR if you want to, and using that, using a custom URL, possibly the address of the property, www.addressoftheproperty.info, 99 cents on GoDaddy. It's a great way for you to separate yourself when you're going into a listing presentation, because they want your website or your web address that you've provided for them. Including that in that listing, okay? So that's a property video. The other one that I think as real estate agents, we really overlook is we're so concentrated on the property or the listing that we forget to market what's around it, okay? The community and market-based videos is number 1. Someone wanting to know what's going to be the quality of life. If I buy here, or I were to buy this property, what's going to be my quality of life? Location is still the most important for the consumer. It's still a top priority. How's the local market? Where's the, what's the area like? How does the school district rank among others in the state? Okay, we have this capability using RPR to be able to give this information. Are there a variety of cultural activities in the area? Are there shopping, recreation, restaurants? Is that a short drive away? Am I going to have to drive 10 minutes down the road? What is it? What about parks, lakes, all those things, places to eat? Okay? When you're the one that's providing that information, you most likely will be called because they find you as that local expert. You know about this area. Okay? Why it's highly important that you put location first. Okay? The next one that you want to consider is, and when you're talking about location, is try to be neighborhood specific. Because we know here in the Woodlands, how many neighborhoods are there? Or sections per se? What, 8 or 9, I think it is, of the different areas. So you have all these different areas, and then within the area they have their own subdivision. So maybe it's just a neighborhood or a subdivision, because as you know, they're all very different, right? They may all look the same, but the feel is different, right? Possibly. Okay, so using the video to help the prospective buyer learn about that community or the differences are great. And what you want to focus on when we're talking about a neighborhood video is, again, that subdivision. Is there a splash pad? Is there, that big Easter egg hunt that they have within that area, or a 4th of July parade, or something that makes that place or that spot different? Maybe there's certain types of trees that only grow in this area, or the look of it. Okay, kind of what the developers' take on that area was. And there's many different areas, and developers have created this kind of theme throughout the Woodlands, right? So that's really good. You want to make sure you highlight that. Listing videos, very different from your property videos. And the listing videos, these are the actual raw footage where you've gone in and you've taken the photo and you're actually panning through and you're really showing the space. The big thing, or the caveat to this particular video, is actually staging it. Okay, so we're putting in stack of fresh flowers. We're putting, wine and cheese on the counter. We're trying to evoke the emotion and to show the benefits of why you should be in this property. One of the unique things that you'll find sometimes with this type of videos is that the agent will feature the seller. Okay, maybe they're sitting on the couch reading a paper, or, you know, putting cookies in the oven, that sort of thing. You're trying to evoke the emotion, okay? Fresh, you know, towels by the pool or something like that, okay? So when you have those animated graphics and those moving images, that stays with the consumer longer. It stimulates the brain. It'll be very, very hard to forget, okay? So recreating those sights and sounds of that experience of actually walking into this home.
So you're suggesting to actually use the seller in the video itself?
Absolutely. If they're motivated, why not?
Okay.
Putting someone human, putting that human element, huge. Okay? Remember, it's not all about you.
It's not?
No, no. And you know this. I mean, think about it. HGTV, right? House Hunters. The human element. There's the couple. One wants country, one wants modern, and they have $50,000 to spend. The agent shows them 3 properties. How are we going to blend all of this and find what we can afford? We watch it every single time. We do bets as to which house they're going to choose. What about how-to videos? Do we have information that the consumer needs to know? Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely do. Buyers and sellers are craving tips on how to leverage themselves. It's leveraging not because they don't know. They know, but maybe they want to interview, right? To find out if whether or not this agent really knows what they're talking about, right? They're trying to leverage themselves. So think about how to pre-qualify for a mortgage. Has that changed over the last 6 months? Yeah. Right? So there's information, new information that needs to be known. How to improve curb appeal or stage a home. Very, very different than living in the home and how the home needs to show or to appear for showings, right? How to choose a home inspector. There's a mystery. What is a home inspector? Do I really need a home inspector? Right? So that kind of information. Think about common questions that folks ask you during the buying and selling process, because there are questions that come up, the same questions that come up all the time. So think about those questions and then answer them on video instead of actually typing them on a website or putting them in a pamphlet this time. Okay? Folks will watch for that information. Really, the topics are endless. You could make a series, if you will, on a lot of these topics. Okay? So these types of videos help to establish you as a local expert again, and it really does establish you as the professional in the area. People will trust you if you give them this information. You won't have to beg for the listing. Okay? So really, really good. And believe it or not, this is a very high number. I think the number has actually gone up on these how-to videos because that's all YouTube is about. Tons of how-to videos. Testimonial videos is the next one. I know some agents that are really leveraging this part of video. And again, these are videos that are not even featuring the agent. It's all about the experience the past client or current client is going through. Don't underestimate, while you're working with someone, to ask their opinion. Is this a good experience for you? Are you getting all the information that you need? Would you use me again? I would do it even during the process. It's a great gauge for you. But this is great. You'll see a lot of agents now are really tapping into this as far as pictures, and they're taking pictures of their clients at the closing table. But next time, turn on your video. The next time that the title rep or your escrow officer now is going in for funding, right, sending in all the paperwork, there's that dead space or that time that you're looking and you're talking. Why not turn on the video and ask them to do one for you? Or you could wait till 30, maybe 60 days after the transaction, and now you've sent maybe a couple of questions to prompt them, and they agree to do this for you, and you tell them that you're going to show up on the day and we're going to do this. Okay? You can do that as well. Really, really great, powerful impression to leave. And now you're not doing anything. You're just setting it up, and you're sending it out, maybe in your pre-listing packets. Right? Your YouTube channel with all your testimonials. Okay? Last one is about me or about us video. These are wonderful. These are really great. Because now this is your opportunity to show off to the consumer exactly how they're going, or the experience they're going to have with you while shopping for a home or listing your home. Okay? So what you're doing is you're giving facts. You're not boasting. right? You're giving nice warm, or giving the warmth of being there for the customer based on what you can provide to them for this experience. Okay? It's about them, not about you. I'm a fun person. I have the time. I'm energetic. I'm fun. You're gonna have a great time with me. And this is what I have to offer. Maybe it's the tools that you use. Okay, you give them, you give them something for them. Here's my buyer's checklist. This is a checklist for you to make sure that, when we're looking at homes, or, when you're out with me looking for homes, nothing's left unturned, that you know for sure that you've looked at this house and evaluated it. And then we're going to come back to the office and we're going to sit down and we're going to discuss this so you can make sure you make an educated decision. Those kinds of things. They need to know that experience. If they already know that, you don't have to explain it to them. They're ready to sign. I don't have to worry about that buyer rep agreement. Okay? So about us and about me videos are great. And the us being the team or the company, whichever. Okay? Any questions about those? Is that helpful to kind of talk about some of the ways that you can actually start producing this content? I will say also, for the about me or the about us or even the how-tos, start using your preferred partners for these types. So you have a preferred mortgage person or a preferred home inspector. You have a title rep, certainly with Callie. You have all these relationships that we refer all the time. Let's start getting some from them now. I want to feature you in a video because I want to do a question and answer with you. Okay, sit down and just have a conversation if that's what it is, so that they can give the information as the expert. Okay, that's a great way to do that. All right, so once I've created the videos, we've talked about the type of content that we wanted to create. So once now I've created the video that I want, we're going to go ahead, once we've edited it, we're going to go ahead and upload it into YouTube. From any screen on YouTube, on the right-hand side, it's been that way forever, last 10 years, right? Been on that right side. If you click that upload button, it's going to bring you a screen that's similar to this, where you're going to see either the arrow. You can either drop and drag, so pull your file from your computer and dump it right here, or you can click on the arrow and then upload it, finding the file. Once you've done that, you'll be asked to label it, if you want to make it public, if you want to make it unlisted, or if you want to make it private. Okay? Now, public is just that. It's going to be available for everyone. If it's unlisted, it means that it's not searchable. So if someone were to look up a title of your video or even part of the word, it wouldn't show up. But if I were to send a link or share a link myself, it would be viewable. Okay? The last one is private, and this is just that. No one else can see it except for me. It's not searchable. If I were even to share a link, it wouldn't work. Okay? Now, the three setups are for different reasons. In real estate, unlisted may be an opportunity for me to be able to showcase this maybe to a group of agents first. Before it even hits the market, it's a coming soon. Maybe I've done that. Or if I have a client who's squeamish about sharing their address or the location, but I still want to be able to market this property, I can still send it out to agents and where I've done a video, and it's only going out to the agents. Okay, I don't want it highly searchable on the internet. That's a great way. Private, again, I'm not ready to showcase. I'm not ready for it to go, but I want to work on it, and I want to be able to keep it stored here when it's time. Because you do have the opportunity to edit it after you're done, and you can change it back and forth between any of these listings or any of these categories. Okay? All right. So uploading the video, before we actually go into there, let's talk a little bit about editing the application within the Creator Studio. Okay? Because again, this is that free format that you have within YouTube. And I'm actually going to take you live here so we can see this together on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, what's your question?
Well, we can maybe get into it later, but it's Facebook Live versus other types of video, because that's becoming so new and big.
Sure.
And I've used it in other applications, but
Right.
not for anything real estate related
Correct.
yet.
Well, for real estate related, I've seen a lot of agents use it to advertise open houses. Like if they're somewhere or they're at an event that they're trying to market while they're right there and live, you can have it. I've seen a lot of agents do live open houses, and they do it through the whole time that they're there. And they're interviewing, they're actually interviewing the customer or the prospective buyers that are coming through and what their impression is of the house and that sort of thing. So you can do it that way.
But doesn't that kind of seem like you're almost focusing not on that prospective buyer that's in front of you, but you're like, I'm not so worried about you. I think that there could be other people out there that want this home more than you do. You know what I mean?
Sure,
But what's the wrong impression almost?
I don't know that it does, because now you're getting firsthand. Reviews are huge.
Yeah.
Before you buy a pair of socks, you're looking, if you're buying it on Amazon or somewhere online, you're looking at reviews to see what a perfect stranger said about it, whether or not it was comfortable or not. So if I can get firsthand, think about the news. If I can get firsthand from someone that knows what happened on the scene, that's great information. So it doesn't have to be long. It could just be, well, what's your impression? Do you think that this, is an open, just a quick, what do you think? Doesn't mean that you're bypassing anyone else, but what you're doing, or the most important thing, is you're marketing the property, because now you're generating that traffic. Well, where's this house? Well, why didn't I know about it? Where, can I go there now? How long is this for? So that's the purpose. It's to generate that excitement and for that particular listing, and that's your job. That's what you promised the seller you're going to do. So, that's how I think that's how you have to kind of look at it.
Yeah, and I definitely could see it for open houses and stuff. Be easy.
Too, anyone going through an open house is probably not going to say anything negative about it.
Probably
because they're going to be
on
on camera.
Yeah, most likely they're not. But
They
even
might
if
say, "Oh, it's nice."
But even so, I think for us as an agent, it's an opportunity to show our expertise. So if someone says something negative about it, like, oh, well, unfortunately, it's backed up to this busy road. Yep, there's nothing we can change about that. But we can say that, a landscaping package is back there, or, you could put a waterfall. You could do all those, a water feature or something to dampen the noise, or possibly landscaping. It gives us an opportunity to be able to show our expertise and showcase ourselves, right? That we're not scared about those objections. So, and sometimes that's what it takes for someone to say, you know what, I need to hire that agent because they overcame that issue.
Right. Good
Yeah.
point.
So let's see here. Let's go into our YouTube. I always like to show the Creator Studio live, because then that way you can see how some of this stuff works. Okay. Sorry, my internet is a little slow here. There we go. Well, you never want to see that. I think I just think my internet my hotspot here is going at 1 times the speed. So
we've got a wireless if you want to use ours.
okay.
Look what I just did.
Oh, you made your own.
Brenda, you have broken through.
Yay!
You must have uploaded that to Fiverr while we were sitting there.
Only a year of your classes and I've got it.
Yeah, Frank, I think I'm gonna have to, because unfortunately, is it the Remax Guest?
It's Woodlands Wireless,
You got it there.
and the password is, I'll read it to you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
You tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Set your cap lock key.
Okay.
2F6B93F3FA.
Perfect, thank you. I don't know why it's working 1 times today.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. All right, so let's go to our little
Oh, I don't care.
Creator Studio here. Okay, So this is kind of your, again, looks very familiar to all the menus that you have within YouTube itself. You'll notice that it defaults to the dashboard. So if you have a video, and of course I just plucked a video up here, which is actually one of my favorite videos of my child. His orchestra is in here, just so that you can kind of get an idea of what you're going to see as a snapshot. Of course, anything that you're going to invest your time in, you want to make sure that it's measurable, right? Yes, if we spend money, I need to be able to measure it, but I think it's more important with your time, because time is something you can't get back. So you have to make sure that it's working for you. So you're going to have a dashboard that's here. Where we're going to plug into is right here where it says create. Do you see the little video there at the bottom? If I click on it, what I'm going to come to, and this is the Creator Studio. Already for me, YouTube has music that I can download and use. This is unlicensed music that I can tap into. Okay, all I have to do is come over here to this second to the last row with the arrows. That is the universal sign for download.
I have used that music and I like it.
Mhm.
There's millions of options.
Sure.
But I find it to be too loud.
It can be.
Is there any way to take the volume down?
There is within the Creator Studio. So if I've chosen any of this, and I'll show you the area where you can do that
Okay.
when you look at it. But of course, there's tons of choices that you can use in this audio, and of course you can separate it if you're looking for genre, mood, instrument, or duration. A lot of times, if you're looking for just 15 seconds of something, you can look to see what's available. The next area is you can certainly use popular music, but just be very careful that if you do, there are certain rules that you need to be able to follow to be able to do that. And a lot of times there's restrictions, like it's not available in some countries somewhere, or some of them even in the United States. So just be careful if you do use them, that you're following the direction. And all you have to do is just actually click on it and then just click on learn more. It'll tell you all the opportunities. Be careful too, if you use popular music, a lot of times YouTube will slap a commercial on the front of your video. And as you know, that can be a deterrent, unless someone really wants to watch it. So the next area that you'll notice here is the video editor. If you click on it, it's going to bring the screen that looks like this. And of course my audio is not coming up right now because I have mine off, but this is actual content that was created or pulled from YouTube itself, okay? What's nice about the Creator Studio, if you're looking kind of a transition piece or looking for raw footage, you most likely can already find it on YouTube. It's what's called the CC. If you'll notice here at the very top, you see that there? There's already licensed video that, or I should say unlicensed video that's already been produced for you that you can use on YouTube. And it's just a matter of dropping and dragging something. So this is 22 minutes long, and it looks like it's a tower, and all it is just panned video of a cityscape, if you will. Okay? So you can plug that in to your video, and notice there are settings or quick fixes that you can do here. You can auto fix, you can fix the brightness, you can slow it down if you need to, pan or zoom, stabilize the video, all of that is available here. And it's just a matter of, this is where the camera is focused here is where you're going to drop your video, and where the music note is here is where you're going to actually drop your music. Okay? So if you've downloaded music from that following page, here it is, Frank, volume. You can actually lower the volume.
Okay.
Okay, so if you've downloaded that video file, or excuse me, that audio file, and now you're plugging it in here, you can actually control the volume. And you can pan, you can fix the bass, you can do the treble.
And it's all the way up by default, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Can you adjust the time of the video?
Yes, you can. So I can adjust the time and the music. And once I've clicked in the area, if you'll notice here, you see the little arrows? You see how it lessens? Same thing with the video. I can lessen the video. I can only use a small portion of it, if you will. You don't have to use all of it. Okay? So once I've done that, I also have access to, again, I have my music that is here as well that I can drop and drag into this area, and I can lessen it or, make it small, or I can look for a certain duration. I also have the ability for my crossfade or my transitions. So if I'm moving from a photo flow to maybe raw footage or photo to photo, I can actually have a transition. I have crossfade, cross blur, color fade, white. There's a whole slew to choose from. okay? I will tell you, the benefit of having these particular transitions, of course, if you're moving from one stage to the next, just make sure that when you're choosing it, that you stay consistent. Because for the consumer eye, if you're making all these changes and transitions every, second, it's not seamless. It doesn't seem seamless, okay?
Now, you downloaded these videos before, from where?
Right, from here, but these are just the creative
But how did you
content,
get them in there?
just drop and drag.
But where did they come from?
It's part of YouTube, that is. Now, your own raw footage, you would then either drop and drag here into this area. You should be able to throw it in here.
Okay, mine's saying no videos were found.
You may not have a video footage on your computer right now.
Right, so how do I get those videos onto this?
Well, you wouldn't.
Okay.
This is only available for this program. It would be the footage that you would record from your video camera or from
Okay.
your cell phone that
Okay.
you would save and then move it over
Gotcha,
into the
gotcha.
program.
Okay,
Okay? So you can use a combination of their videos, their creative content, your video, and then even your photos. Because that's the other option that you have too. See the little camera that's here?
right.
You can upload
But
photos.
how do you get their videos?
right here. It's right here under CC. Right there. The menu.
Okay, that's what I missed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. The next area that you have too is for your centered title, or excuse me, your title. So this is where you can actually put your name, put the price, put how many bedrooms and bath right over the tiles that are part of the video. Okay. Again, putting the price at the end or giving general information at the end is best, because that way they're looking at the information and then they have to wait to see it, if you will. You can also, of course, clearly identify yourself as an agent as well. So you're going to have that opportunity to put text. Okay, and if you need any information or any help, you certainly can with the keyboard. It tells you about navigating, that's here too. Once you've done, and you'll notice here, you'll notice that this is a window where you can view your video from start to finish. Once you get it where you'd like it, all you do is click here to create video, and it will splice it all together for you. Okay, so totally up to you. I like using my Windows Live because that's what I use, but I've also used the Creator Studio, but just another way that you can, or another option for video editing. Know that you have that within YouTube. You don't have to go out and purchase anything. Okay, do we like that?
Would you mind just doing give us your opinion on the YouTube editor versus iMovie?
No it's all a preference. It's completely up to you.
So iMovie doesn't have more capabilities?
It probably does as far as working with raw footage. I found that it can, sometimes with YouTube, you trying to put your own raw footage in here can be kind of quirky. You have to have it in the right file. But otherwise, it can be overcome. Just some people get frustrated with that. This is just easy because, again, you already have music, you already have video content or raw footage that you could use with photos. It's great with photos. So you can have that, you can have the look of raw footage or real life footage along with your photos.
Okay, thank you.
But as far as the Mac and using your iMovie, you have a lot of capability, tons of capability. Okay, this is just kind of easy functioning here. Okay, so we learned a little about the Creator Studio, and that's just going to take some time with playing with it, okay, to actually kind of get that better. Now, once I've actually created the video and now I'm ready to upload it, or I have it uploaded, there are some things that I need to do to make sure that I take care of identifying it. This is a photo that you'll notice here of a video that you'll see, and this is typical for when you're watching a video on YouTube. Below it here, you'll notice that there is a little box or an area for you to put a description, okay? Typically when someone looks at a video on YouTube, they're only going to look at it in this format. Most people will not click on that little, there's a little arrow that usually will give you the full information or the full description. So what you want to do is make sure, because it's only going to show the first 2 or 3 lines, is to make sure to put your contact information first. Okay? So someone found your listing or your video like this, right? instead of them having to open it up or possibly go past it, if they wanted to find out more information, they wouldn't have to click on or expand that area. Put in the website, your contact information, your name in that area first. Okay, make sure that's the first thing you put in, and then put in the description. Now, you don't want to put in the same thing that you put in the MLS, right? Meaning, we don't want to make sure that we don't want to put 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, because hopefully what I've done is already put in a website that they can go through to get that information. What I want to do here is sell the warm and fuzzies about the property and why should they buy it.
Is the URL you're putting there your website or the video URL?
Up to you.
Yeah.
Up to you.
I was gonna ask the same thing.
Yeah, but up to you. If you want to put, HAR web link, that's fine. I do think that before you do that, you should buy a custom domain name instead of, say, like from GoDaddy to put there, because we don't want to highlight HAR. We want to highlight ourselves.
Yeah, so if you were gonna create, like earlier you said, buying the GoDaddy site for each listing. So then basically what you're doing on your website is you're creating sub-pages
Exactly.
or mini pages for each listing. So then you could include the video on there and include that URL to that video on there, which still
Correct.
goes to your website versus HAR.
Correct. Because you want to highlight yourself. You want to highlight the listing, right? And the listing is tied to you. So we always want to customize because URLs are highly searchable also on Google. It's very specific. Okay? So yes, completely up to you. It could be your landing page or it could be in conjunction with a custom URL. For your landing, it could be your blog. It could even be a link to another video that's like this house. You could say that too. Don't like this one, or you can say want to see more, click here. And now you have that link there. Okay? But just make sure whatever you're putting there, keeping in mind that it's going to be searched on Google. Okay? But just make sure you put your contact information first. Next thing that we want to talk about here is about creating information or getting video that we can also put on without subscribing to the full channel. Remember I told you that we were going to learn about that? Instead of subscribing to the whole network or whole channel, how can I take bits and pieces of what's being produced and now put it on my channel? The way we do that is by creating playlists on YouTube. Everyone's familiar with playlists, right? You know that for music. Well, you can do the same thing for video on YouTube. And what is virtually a playlist? What are we doing?
It's a list of the favorite things you like.
Sure, absolutely. So in this situation, would it be categories? Think about a library or a bookstore. When you go into either, they each have their own sections, right? There's, there might be self-help books or, personal development books. There may be religion here, nonfiction, fiction, cooking, all these different areas. So this is primarily what you're doing on your YouTube channel, is that you're creating an area so that depending on the interests of that consumer, they're able to find those videos quickly. They don't have to go through your entire page to look what they're looking for. They can just go right to a spot. So you'll notice here, Fort Lauderdale Real Estate that's here, you'll notice that they have different sections or playlists that are available for the consumer to go to. So they have Fort Lauderdale Real Estate, Home and Garden, Do It Yourself, Sold Listings, Hurricane Preparedness, that's helpful in Florida, Videos of the Month, Fort Lauderdale Boating, Fort Lauderdale Lifestyle, Fort Lauderdale Attractions. And each one of these subjects has a video that's geared towards that particular subject. Okay? This is a really, really great way for you to kind of categorize your channel so that folks are going directly to the information that they're looking for. Okay? Great for you to do that. So how do we do this? How do I actually create this? Well, of course, you can certainly create playlists. If you'll notice, if you click on playlists here, you can actually create the headings. But the easiest way I feel to do it is if you find a video and you're like, oh, this is a great video for buyers, or maybe for sellers, you might want to put here. And you see a video. Now here you'll see this is a TAR video that I located. It says, are you obligated to show properties not in the MLS? This could kind of be for an information list, if you will, for other agents, particularly for a brokerage. So if you have the video here, Everyone's used to seeing the subscribe, because you can subscribe to the channel from here. But also you'll notice is a share button. Everyone's sharing video, so we know where that is. Well, if you look to the left, there's a little plus sign that says add to. Okay? If I click on add to, it actually opens up a menu here, okay, where I can search for a playlist if you will, if it's not in the list, or I can click from the ones that are already there. If you haven't created a playlist before, the two options that you're going to find are watch later and favorites. That will already be there. But notice I have this one that says listing videos, okay, that was already created on here. If I don't have one already created, I can just click here where it says create new playlist, and now I can title where I want this to go under. Once I've titled it, that's it. That's all I have to do. And it now will go under that heading, and it'll put that video in that particular area. Okay? So now I have a series of videos that are geared towards that subject. Playlists are searchable, they are shareable, so I can just share a playlist. I could do a playlist of the week. I could put it at the bottom of my email. Maybe I have a featured playlist.
So, for example, you could have a buyer's playlist, and when you get a new buyer, send them a link, and then they've got all your buyer information videos.
Done.
You should do that.
Easy. Very easy to do. Or you can say, you can have a featured listings playlist, if you will. So you have the ones that you've been trying to sell, or you have coming soon, possibly. You could have a coming soon box. Maybe your community market-based videos where you've gone around to the different properties. Maybe you have a relocation buyer. Doesn't have any idea where they want to live. But you're giving them the different areas in that you sell and giving them information so they can capitalize on that. Okay? So really great information that you can create. And really it's up to you. The titles, what you produce, what's there, what you connect, it's all up to you. But it's a great way for you to be able to market your YouTube, or to categorize your YouTube channel so that it makes it a little bit easier for those to navigate your channel. Okay? Creating a strong YouTube channel without creating without creating a video of your sorts is looking for these types of things. Think about what a buyer wants or what a seller would want to know about an area. That's a really great way when you're going about looking at videos. What would a seller or buyer want to know about you and your company, possibly? City information, neighborhoods, golf courses, shopping areas, restaurants, okay? Marketing information, decorating, home and garden, those are huge. Real estate in general, remember those how-to videos? How do I pre-qualify, right? How do I, once I apply, what happens now? Those kinds of things, okay? Incorporate a lot of videos in your playlist because you don't know what's going to resonate with one person, okay? And what's really nice is that YouTube does allow you to embed playlists into your own websites as well, and landing pages. So they actually have it where they have the high content that you can. And usually just by going into the video and hitting edit, you can copy and paste and input on your website, okay? How does YouTube rank videos? Because that's kind of the other thing. Talking about search engine and optimization and how that works, but how does YouTube rank videos? What does it dictate as popular, or who's doing what and what's hot and what's not? The first things first is full views of your video. If someone watches your video from beginning to end, if they're noticing that folks are staying and they're watching your video from beginning to end, that is high. Okay, because that means you're keeping them there. There's something there that's enticing folks. Number of comments. This is another thing. If people are standing there and they're making comments and they're saying, oh, I love this, this is great, or whatever it is that they're saying, if you're generating a lot of comments, they're going to come to you. Number of likes, there's an opportunity for thumbs up. That's very good there too. Video inventory, if you have a lot of videos, if you have a lot of information, they see you as the source. That is big, okay, because they're going to come to you every time. That person has tons of videos. Upload frequency and consistency. Okay, if I'm uploading at the same time, or I'm constantly adding new content or material, that's going to bring Google to me too. Okay. Any questions on that? All right, so post your videos in multiple spots. Don't forget your social media sites. You want to put them on your Facebook or your Twitter, your LinkedIn, whatever it is. Think of the audience that you are going to be giving this to, or giving this information to, and make sure that you introduce it well. And what I mean by short and sweet, to the point, let the video speak for itself, because you've done the work, so now you just want folks to look at it. Ask them to share, comment, put it in the bottom of your emails, okay? Put in your descriptions where they can find you elsewhere, because that would be great too, right? But you definitely want to ask your viewers to share and like and comment on what you've produced, because remember, it's very important that they do that for you for your rankings, okay? So we don't want to be secret agents on video. Let's see, don't forget to use keywords in your titles that you're titling, okay? And the best way to do this, YouTube allows you to change the title of your YouTube video one time. Once you've gone in and actually edited or uploaded, you're gonna have an opportunity to do that, but you're only able to do it one time. The easiest way to do it is to purchase a domain name, because then that's something that's not hosted here but elsewhere, which can help. Keywords in your descriptions, using tags. Transcription, I would say yes. If you're finding that your video is going to be longer than 3 minutes, YouTube allows you, at the time that you upload the video, to just check the box if you want to do transcription. And what that means is every 4 seconds, it's going to give a title to that particular section, okay? Which allows the consumer to read it, and if they want to go there, they just click it, and it takes them right to that spot. I don't like that because it doesn't give you that ability to go from beginning to end ranking, which is actually really high. But if you're finding that the content has to stay together, sometimes that can help, okay, to do that. And of course, keywords in your file name of the video are very important. One thing you have to know about video, and I really need to put this on here, is it's not about you, okay? Yes, you may think you look funny, but others may think you're great, you're perfect just the way you are because of the information that you're giving them, okay? You will make the mistakes, you will make a mistake. You will find that your first videos will look nothing like the 10th or 12th one, okay? But you gotta keep going.
Wonderful.
Yeah, gotta keep going. It's actually gonna get better. It can get frustrating when you're doing it because it's new. Okay, but we're entrepreneurs, right? If it doesn't work the first time, we figure out what does. Maybe I do need to have someone there with me the first couple of times to help me out, okay? But you don't quit, okay? Don't quit. The chances of you getting it right the first time, it won't be. So I've already told you that, so you can keep going, okay? This is very vital to your real estate career. It is now. 99% of the consumer is online. They want to watch video. Okay, 69% of the traffic by 2017 is going to be nothing but video on the internet.
That's next year.
Thank you. But 69% of it will be the internet traffic. So if you're not taking the ability and not using the opportunity to use video, you are way, way, way behind the 8 ball. Okay, so just start. Don't quit. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Trecia.cooke@fnf.com is my email address. If you'd like a copy of my slides, I'm more than happy to share them with you.
Oh, how do we get that? How does that happen?
So just email me, and once you email me, I'm going to attach it and send it right back to you. The reason why I do this is because I may not copy your email address right correctly, and even if I'm looking at it on a card. So it's just really easy for you to send me the correct one so I can send it to you back in the correct format.
You can send us the slideshow?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me again to email.
Trecia.cooke@fnf.com. That's the
Okay.
very first email address there at the top.
I
Okay.
think you had some very detailed information on a couple things that is going to be very powerful.
Cool. Awesome.
So thank you, Tricia.
You're very
Thank you,
welcome. Thank
Tricia.
you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Maybe